Yo, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy HD MMA back at it again with another video. Today, we're going over my reaction and breakdown to UFC Sacramento that just took place earlier this day. And it was a crazy card. It was a good card. A lot of finishes on the card with the scrap of a main event. Back and forth. Some dull performances here and there. The co-main especially, but overall it was a pretty decent watch for the weekend. And yeah, let's just get into it. I did pretty good on picks in this card as well, and none of the people who I thought would sell my picks sold. Some big upsets as well in the card that we'll get to later on. But yeah, let's kick off with the first fight on the card, the opener of the prelims, and it was Chanel Dyer defeating Elise Reed, but in the third round by TKO. Dominant performance from Chanel Dyer. I mean, she really just outclassed and outgunned Elise Reed on the feet. No real takedowns attempted from either girl. It was just a back and forth scrap. Not really a back and forth, but a striking showcase and masterclass for Chanel Dyer. Round one, you can clearly see earlier that Chanel had the speed advantage and the power advantage on the feet. She was piecing up Elise Reed. Whenever she came into closer distance, Dyer was stinging her with the right hand, stinging her with the left hook as well. The 3-2 combo for Dyer was there pretty much the entire fight since the start. Outlanded Reed. Reed was really outgunned, really outmatched on the feet. Couldn't really fight herself back into the fight or get like any sort of offense or land any sort of significant shots that would hurt Dyer and get herself some momentum into the fight. Outlanded her. Dyer outlanded her for the first round, and that was pretty much it for the first. Second round, it was just a takeover from Chanel Dyer. Complete domination. Outlanded her. Six number after 8-1, 67-21 strikes. And the second, both the two biggest meme numbers on the planet, which is pretty clever to see, pretty ironic. But yeah, just massive advantage on the feet for Dyer. Took advantage of it, popped her with big shots, pressing her back, even got a takedown. I think she got like a trip in the clinch, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, massive punches for Chanel Dyer. She threw 67 strikes and 66 of them were significant. So great strike rate, great striking percentage for Chanel Dyer on the feet. And yeah, just battered Elise in the first and the second. In the corner in the third, Elise's corners, they were like freaking. She like told them that she didn't have anything left, and they were like, "Oh, do you want to stop the fight?" And she was like, "No," which is really confusing. If you say you don't have anything left, and your corner asks you to stop, and you still want to go, you're probably gonna get just slimed out in the third. If you have nothing, you have nothing, and that was apparent as soon as the round started. Dyer got straight onto her, walked across the cage, hit her with some big shots, and then just unloaded on her when she saw that Elise was hurt and didn't want to be there anymore. And the ref just stepped in and stopped the fight. So yeah, extremely dominant win for Chanel Dyer. Elise is pretty bad. She was like 8-4, 8-5 before this fight. Now she's like 8-6 at this. So yeah, she was pretty shit comp. Kind of just a way for Chanel Dyer to showcase her skills and sort of get her like a highlight reel behind her, pad her resume a bit, so she has some footage to play before she of her highlights before she fights. And yeah, this was that match. Not much to it. A good win for Chanel Dyer, and I picked her as well. So that's 1-0 for me on picks. Moving on, we got Jackson McVeigh defeating Wes Schultz in the first round by TKO. This started off a bit hairy for Jackson McVeigh. I picked him to win, and he got it done, to be fair. I think I also picked him to win by first round TKO as well, and he got it done. So fair play to him. But yeah, to start off a bit hairy, I think Schultz pulled for a guillotine in the first, or tried to take down McVeigh as soon as the fight started. But McVeigh stayed calm, did a good job of defending the grappling, got it back up to the feet, and from there it was pretty even. Jackson was throwing more and landing more. He was also throwing the bigger, like the tad bit of bigger shots with the boxing in the hands. Landing the straight left, I think it was, because Jackson's a southpaw. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I think he is a southpaw. Landing the straight left down the pipe, landing the right hook around the guard. Schultz was looking very, very shit like himself on the feet, not really throwing punches with any oomph or any like form behind them. Yeah, McVeigh was stinging him on the feet. But they were like kind of like laying him back and forth on the feet, and then McVeigh ended up timing a really nice knee to the body on Schultz as Schultz came in to close the distance to shoot. McVeigh timed a really sick knee to the body that hurt Schultz bad. Put down Schultz and then put him away with ground and pound. So, yeah, great stuff for Jackson McVeigh. Got some decent finishes on his records on 2-fight win streak. Both first round finishes. Not against the best comp. Wes Schultz and Cedricus Dumas are shit at middleweight, but they are good finishes or decent finishes for McVeigh to build himself back up. Yeah, not much to it. Also picked him to win as well. Like I said before. Moving on, we got this would have been fight of the night if it weren't for that main event, probably. But yeah, we got Stan Dersenval defeating Gage Young by unanimous decision. Now, I picked Gage Young to win. I said he would win by split decision in a back and forth scrap. And to be fair, this was a back and forth scrap between both guys. Both guys testing each other's wills, testing each other's hearts, testing each other's chin, throwing back and forth in the pocket. Also mixing in the grappling between both as well. And it was Young that was mixing in the grappling. I thought if anyone mixing the grappling, it would be Dersenval. But yeah, Dersenval just ended up kind of being the one that was pressing forward more, being the one that was landing more shots. He was throwing more than Gage Young. But to be fair, I thought this fight was a robbery on the scorecards. I thought Gage Young won the first and the third. And I don't remember there wasn't a knockdown in this one as well. I was looking at the stats earlier, and they said there was a knockdown for Dorsenville, but I guess they corrected that. But yeah, the first round, I thought Young had that. He was landing the bigger shots. Ended up rocking Dorsenval on a few occasions there. Early and late in the round, pieced him up with boxing combos, nice tidy hands, hooks and uppercuts around the guard of Dorsenval. Young had the speed advantage at the start of the fight as well. And yeah, every time Dorsenval walked into range, Young would land like a 3-4 punch combo with hooks and uppercuts around the guard of Dorsenval that would sting him good and land pretty good. But Dorsenval kept walking through, throwing that long jab that he has, using his reach advantage. Yeah, just staying in his face, and not getting deterred by the boxing of Young. Young would like shoot in, sort of alleviate the pressure, grab onto the clinch, like get a couple takedowns here and there, get one. But in like press Dorsenval up against the cage a bit in the round as well. But yeah, it was a pretty clear round one for Young. Round two, I would say it's a Dorsenval round. Dorsenval started getting in the groove, started landing his jab, using his reach advantage, landing the two behind it as well. Got a takedown at the end of the round as well, to sort of seal it and put the round in favor for him. But yeah, he would walk forward. I think he also hurt Gage Young, if I'm not mistaken, with like a, I think it was a left hook, as Gage Young was moving his head. Moved Young moved his head straight into like a left hook from Val that had him on shaky legs for a bit at one point in the round, but yeah, the pressure and the pace of Val started to come through in the second, and Young really started to like gas and feel it and feel like the pressure and the pace of Val in the second, and Val got himself the round. Round three, I thought Gage Young had landed the cleaner and landed the bigger shots that hurt Val. But I guess I wasn't watching the fight correctly or whatever. I guess I wasn't thinking, I wasn't looking at the punches that Val was landed. It says here that Val outstruck him in the third and landed more shots. Young had more takedowns, but I know that he didn't really do much with them. He would like get him down, and Val would pop right back up. But yeah, Val would to be fair, he did go forward a lot. He just kind of did what he did in the second. He would go forward, land jabs and right hands and like long hooks over the guard of Young, and just take the punches of Young and keep on coming forward. And yeah, that got him the second and the third for a UD win. So yeah, good win for Val. He's undefeated in the UFC. Only 5-0 at the start of this fight. 6-0 now. Wins his UFC debut over a good prospect in Gage Young, a young guy as well. Val is, was a Home Depot employee as well. And yeah, pretty big stuff for him. And that was my pick wrong as well. Moving on, we got, but it was a very fun scrap. What the fuck happened to the? Oh, there it goes. It was a pretty fun scrap overall. Pretty good fight. But it would get overshadowed by the main event. Moving on, we got Mauricio Barboza defeating Ryan Kusei in the first round by KO. What can you say? Nasty stuff from Mauricio Barboza, man. Big power for the division, hits extremely fucking hard, and you do not want to be on the feet with this guy. If you cannot take him down, you have problems, and it's going to be hard to take him down as well. He showed off really good takedown defense in this fight as well. Stuffed all of Kusei's takedown attempts. But yeah, fight started off. Barboza got straight on the presser, straight on the front foot, back Kusei up against the cage. Kusei, he was trying to be like elusive on the back foot. Use like the long guard, mix in like feints and fakes here and there. Try shooting a lot of takedowns. Barboza stuffed all of them fairly easily. Was very quick to react to the shots. And just could not get the respect of Barboza. Kusei couldn't. Was just on the back foot. Couldn't get any respect. Couldn't get Barboza to alleviate any of the pressure, and Barboza just walked him down, pressured him up against the cage, throw out some jabs, threw some kicks in there to mix it up, to sort of divert the attention from the boxing. And then Barboza just ended up getting into the pocket, landed a few shots, and then landed a nasty left hook as that Kusei circling out to the left, or circling out to his right, caught him with a nasty left hook that put him down, and finished up with ground. He didn't finish up with ground and pounding, for my mistake. He hit Kusei with the left hook, and then Kusei just sank to the ground, and then Kusei, he was like out of it, and Barboza like hesitated. He thought the ref was gonna step in, and then the ref saw how like glazed over the eyes of Kusei were, and how just out of it, and just the fact that he did not know where he was at all. And then he just stepped in and ended the fight. So yeah, good stuff for Barboza. He's a problem at featherweight. Real power in the hands. Good takedown defense. It's going to be really, really tough to beat him. I don't really see anyone unranked at featherweight giving Barboza problems. Maybe if he goes up against like a bigger sort of dude, like one of the lengthier guys at featherweight, like a like a Steve Garcia or a David Onama, they can like give him a more of a challenge, to give him a tougher fight. But it's gonna be really tough to stop him in this division. So yeah, good win for him. Can't wait to see what's up next for him. Moving on, we got um Chris Padilla defeating Nasrat Haqparast in the third round by a technical submission with a standing arm triangle. This fight was pretty uneventful. Um, for both of the first two rounds. Started off, Padilla was landing good low kicks on Haqparast, landing with the teeps, trying to like land right hands, pumping the jab as well. Padilla was. Haqparast was having like a bit of a hard time getting past the kicks of Padilla to close the distance and land those hooks that he's really good at throwing. The fast hands that Haqparast has, he was having a hard time landing those hooks around the guard of Padilla. Padilla was staying very calm, keeping the guard high. Haqparast would like mix in some kicks here and there as well to sort of fight those and like contest with those, but it was Padilla that sort of outlanded him in the first. The second was more of the same. Padilla outlanding him, throwing kicks, throwing more volume, mixing the elbows as well as Haqparast would try and close the distance. Padilla would meet him with a couple of elbows. Padilla got into the clinch as well. Threw some elbows in there, threw some knees up the middle as well. Yeah, just mixing the kicks, mixing the knees to clinch. Threw very minimal hands. Padilla did. Sort of like was just content fighting off the elbows and the kicks and the clinch and the knees. Also, Padilla didn't really throw. I don't think he threw a single like roundhouse like high kick. He threw some teeps to the face of Haqparast, but he didn't throw a single high kick at Haqparast, which I thought was a bit of a missed opportunity, especially taking in consideration the fight that Haqparast had prior. If I were Padilla, I would have been it would have gone up top with the high kick occasionally, at least like set it up with the body kicks, and then as you get further into the round, whip up a high kick on a Haqparast. I thought that could have been something he could have gone for, but yeah, wins both the two rounds. Padilla outlands Haqparast, and then in the third, it starts off like the first two, but then Padilla ends up dropping Haqparast with the right hand in the clinch. Who I thought had like knocked out Haqparast completely, but Padilla was sort of slow to pour on the ground and pound and the punishment on Haqparast. Haqparast recovered. As Padilla sort of went to the ground with him, Haqparast got back up to his feet, recovered, started backing up, and then Padilla lashed up a standing arm triangle on him. As Haqparast was dazed and not really with it. Padilla's lashed up the arm triangle, slammed him down at the end of the round. So he's like has Haqparast in a fully locked in arm triangle. And then as the bell goes off to end the round, Haqparast just goes to sleep completely. Then the ref calls it at the end of the fight. And Padilla gets a third round technical submission win by arm triangle. So good win for Padilla. Good way to end the fight on a statement. With the arm triangle, gets to finish barely. Just squeezes it out at the end of the third. Good stuff from beats a really good guy in Haqparast, who's been outside of the top 15 for a long time at lightweight. So yeah. And I also picked him to win as well. So good stuff from him. Moving on, we got Shamil the Blob Gaziev, man. Shamil Gaziev putting it on for the Blobs, showing why he's the king of this shit. There's levels to the Blob game, and Shamil Gaziev is at the top of this shit, man. Nasty stuff from Shamil Gaziev. puts away Kennedy Nzechukwu in the first by vicious KO with a straight right hand. Good stuff for him, man. Nzechukwu, he was very elusive early on the back foot, circling around, had his hands down, had his hands like damn near at his waist for the whole fight, circling around, trying to use that head movement, trying to use that like that Lighterman skill on Gaziev, trying to like recognizing that Gaziev's a blob and trying to like out movement him and outpace him and confuse him with the movement, not trying to like stand and plot and jab with guys like that he usually does. And yeah, ended up costing him dearly. Gaziev ended up pressuring. And the thing about Gaziev, man, he is a blob, man. He is a blob, and he's all right. He's all right for a blob, man. He's not like a complete like total like just absolute sludge and slop at heavyweight. He has some pretty redeeming factors, redeeming qualities, especially that hand speed of his and his ability to land that straight right. And yeah, ended up hitting Nzechukwu with a straight right early in the fight. That Nzechukwu like had barely slipped, and then Nzechukwu tried to slip the straight right again, turns his head away, but Gaziev predicted where Nzechukwu's head was going to be and then hit him where his head was whenever Nzechukwu slipped and put him out cold, man. Put him straight out cold. Had him planking in there. Really bad slam out for Shamil Gaziev and gets it done, man. Yeah, most brutal knockout on the card, I'm pretty sure. Wouldn't be shocked if he gets a performance bonus for that or a KO of the night bonus for that. Yeah, what much can you say? I also picked Gaziev to win. I think I picked him to win by no, I picked him to win by unanimous decision. I thought he would like outland and out volume Nzechukwu. But yeah, he gets it done in the first, man. Nasty stuff. Moving on, we got the biggest upset on the card yet, and it was Jamal Emmers defeating Le'Veon Douglas in the first round by KO, man. Le'Veon Douglas is a bitch. Le'Veon Douglas is a bitch. He can't take punches. And Emmer showed that, man. I know Douglas, he has a bit of an ugly record. He has a lot of losses on the regionals, and he has had a few KO losses on the regionals as well. But I really thought he would get past. He would be able to get past a guy like Jamal Emmers, who is crafty, who does have like sneaky power, is big for the weight class, has some good grappling as well. But he used none of that shit, man. No takedown shot. He outstruck freaking Le'Veon Douglas and put him away in the first with a 1-2 down the pipe. Fight started off. Emmers was on the back foot. Douglas was on going forward, trying to land those hooks around the guard. Didn't really try to set him up with a jab or anything or a right, put a straight right down the middle. Was trying to just walk down Emmers and land hooks on him around the guard. Emmers was floating around on the back foot, evading the hooks, rolling underneath him, not giving Douglas the room to work with, not sitting in front of him to trade in the pocket. Is Emmers, and yeah, man, skirted around on the back foot, popped Douglas with jabs, popped him with some right hands, and then eventually landed that 1-2 down the pipe that sat down Douglas and finished him off with ground and pound. Douglas immediately just folded up in the fetal position. Didn't put up any adversity. Didn't try to get back up to his feet. Didn't try to do anything to get himself back into the fight. And Emmers just put him away, and the ref stepped in. So yeah, really good underdog win for Jamal Emmers. He's super crafty, and the YNs, man, the YN Alliance are up. Just when I thought they were down and out, and just when I thought they had They couldn't put together any good wins and lose to any people that challenged it, man. They're pulling off big at these couple cards, man. Yeah, great stuff for Embers. Moving on. No, let's go over the picks for the prelim. So I had Leon Douglas to win. Jamal Embers got it done, so that made me 1-0, 2-0, 2-1, 3-1, 4-1, 5-1, and 5-2. Going into the main card, pretty good if I do say so myself. And Anthony Went got it done in the opener of the main card in the first round by submission with an arm triangle. Good stuff for Went. He came out looking real, looking fast, moving around a lot, throwing some feints, and ended up getting the takedown in round one. Chapman did have him in a bit of trouble with that Kimura. Ended up wrenching it really hard, but he couldn't really move Went off of him to reverse him and really like get a good position on him. He grabbed the Kimura and like try to like rip it and extend it, but Went would just stay on him and keep on punching him. On top, ended up eventually punching Chapman in the back of the head, and then Chapman like let go, and then just climbed up top, climbed into mount. Climbed into mount. He didn't climb up top. He was on top, and then he climbed into mount. Ended up latching up the arm triangle on Terrence Chapman, and ended up putting him away, choking him completely out cold and slamming him out. So yeah, good stuff for Anthony Wynn, getting the debut win off a quick turnaround, off of a great Contender Series debut. Gets the quick turnaround and a quick finish in the first on the main card. Good stuff for him, and I also picked him to win as well. Moving on, we got Carly Jadis defeating Gisela Chavez in the first round by TKO. Not much to say. Great work from Carly Jadis. Fight started off. Both girls were going at it. Jadis was deep into the body on Chavez and ended up she hit Chavez with a teep to the body that like early on in the fight. That like Chavez felt like, and she put her hand down to her body to sort of like cover it early in the first, and then they went back at it again. They traded punches on the feet and some kicks as well, and then Jadis ended up teeping to that same spot again on Chavez as she was backing her up to the cage, and then Chavez just folded, and Jadis got the TKO win. So yeah, nasty TKO to the body with the front kick for Carly Jadis. Quick night in the office for her, and put away a decently good girl in Joelle Chavez. I don't know how to say her first name. Put away Chavez in the first by TKO. Good stuff for her. I think I picked Jadis to win by unanimous decision, if I'm not mistaken. Thought it was gonna be a bit more of a back and forth sort of scrap. I thought Chavez would be able to tough it out, since Jadis doesn't really she doesn't have much power in the hands. Jadis, she has good kicks and stuff like that, and good like knees, but I thought Chavez would have like the power in the hands. But hey, man, she hit her with that chinny to the body front kick special, and I just want to say it, man. I called it in one of my prediction videos or one of my reaction videos. I know it was one of my previous videos, but I said, man, I think women are just chinny to the body like that, man. I think all women have a innate chinniness to the body that can be found. It was the Serbia card, if I'm not mistaken, where one of the girls, Haley Cohen, she got chin to the body with a right hand to the solar plexus, and I think that's I think that's a genuine weak spot on a lot of women. If not a majority, they just sort of have like nothing there. It's kind of like all like rib cage and like a just a line in their stomach. They have like no muscle protecting it there. It's like the right here, unlike the black line of the sports bra, right below the cleavage, they just have there's just that's the solar plexus for them, and they just have no like muscle or fat protecting that. So yeah, that's a I think that's a big weak spot for women. And I think Jadis she has two finishes to the body, with one with a knee and this one with the front kick. So yeah, if you're a female striker out there, those teeps to the body and knees to the body, right, specifically right on the black line of the sports bra. If you're in the UFC, if you're not, just like the end of the sports bra right below the cleavage, that's a big weak spot for a lot of girls, I think. And yeah, just some friendly tips that I've noticed. I know my stuff in ways. I know my stuff in ways, man. And it paid dividends for College D's. Moving on, we got. This is a bit upsetting. I'm not gonna lie. This is a bit upsetting. We got Markel Medeiros defeating Mason Jones in the second by TKO. I really wanted Mason Jones to get this one done and pull forward, man. I really wanted him to get into the top 15, get like a top 15 matchup for a shot in the rankings, but Medeiros pulled it off. Big upset win. I think he was a plus 300 dog in this one, Medeiros, to start the fight. And he got it done big. First round, they're both going at it. Jones was he was the one going forward, but Medeiros was countering really good with like right hands and like just tidy shots. In the pocket, he had the reach disadvantage, and Jones was popping the jab and like using the longer range strikes. So Medeiros was throwing right hands over the top, just tidy hooks in the pocket as soon as when Mason Jones was come forward. Jones would like throw kicks as well. Freaking and like they would land on Medeiros, but Medeiros would eat them. Have some like punches in the clinch as well, in the pocket. And that was most of round one. And then Medeiros would start finding the elbow whenever Jones would come in and intercept him with that. He hit him with that pretty bad at the end of round one. When he realized the punches, like his counter hooks over the top of Jones, and in the pocket weren't doing enough, and they weren't hurting Jones for real. He would switch. Medeiros would make it like a crafty, very intelligent move and switch off to the elbows, that were stinging Jones a bit more and causing more damage on him. And yeah, that was the first. They grappled for a bit. Jones ended up shooting I think he hit Medeiros with a throw, if I'm not mistaken, like a judo throw or something like that. And then Medeiros ended up getting back up to his feet. Where he I think he reversed Jones at the end of the round. Jones ended up like putting him in a triangle for a bit. And then they ended on the ground in the guard. In the second, freaking Jones ended up coming forward, doing what he was doing in the first. And then Medeiros would just keep tagging him whenever Jones would come forward with elbows, tagging him over the top, tagging him in the clinch, tagging him in the pocket as well. And then one elbow ended up hurting Jones as Jones came forward, stumbled him for a bit. Jones back up to the clinch to try and like fight his way out of it. I ended up throwing some hooks to as he was rocked to sort of get himself back into the fight, but Medeiros just ended up just uncorking the massive right elbow on Jones again and again and again, and then Jones was just on shaky legs completely, and then the ref just stepped in. although I wanted Mason Jones to win, this was very impressive for Michael Medeiros. After going to a decision a ton of times and not really having any any highlights or any like memorable moments to his fight, he ends up TKOing a very 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 durable and game guy in Mason Jones in his first finish. It's sorry to see because he's not that big of a personality and he doesn't have like he didn't like cut an insane promo on the post fight to like get some hype behind him. He shouted out his brother who passed away, so rest in peace to him. And it's good that he got the win, but I want to see Mason Jones win. He's tough. He's a tough guy. Um, really brings it every time he steps in the cage. Really fun fighter. Really sick fight style. But Medeiros got it done. He's a bit of a lightweight Carlos Ulberg, if I do say so myself. Like a lightweight guy that's really good, but has kind of no personality at all. But he gets it done tonight. So good for him. And I picked Jones to win as well, and Medeiros got it done. But moving on, we got Brainier the Ritter defeating Roman Fraud Lidze in the first round by TKO. Not much to say about this fight. I mean, the Lidze, he's just a bitch, man. He's just a bitch. He shouldn't be in there. I think he should retire. He's not a fighter, man. He's not a fighter. Very soy gay fighting style. Just pulls guard whenever he gets the chance. Whenever guys get into the clinch, he just pulls guard and just rolls for legs, rolls for just rolls for submissions, and gets pummeled for it. The fact that Anthony Smith lost to this guy is beyond baffling to me, especially looking at the way he fights now, just rolling on the ground, just trying to fluke you with a leg lock is pretty insane to me. But the Ritter got it done. They started off on the feet, threw some strikes here and there, then got to the clinch. Then Delidze just pulls guard immediately, starts rolling for leg locks, rolling for knee bars, and the Ritter just stayed calm, defended the submissions well, ended up just squishing and stacking on top of Delidze, throwing big ground and pound on Delidze. Delidze ended up having to cover up, having to move around to sort of to sort of alleviate the ground and pound of the Ritter, but the Ritter just kept on top of him, kept following him, and just kept pouring on the ground and pound. And then eventually, in the third or in the first, the ref had seen enough. Delidze stopped moving and just sort of just covered up. He turned into Anthony Smith 2.0, just without the 2-on-1 grip. Just turned into Anthony Smith 2.0, ended up just turtling, and then the Ritter just poured it on him until the ref stepped in. So yeah, good stuff for the Ritter. Gets a first round finish in his light heavyweight debut. I think it'll be a problem for a lot of the guys in the rankings of light heavyweight with his grappling and his pressure and stuff like that. And the fact that he's so like big and tall. I think he'll be like a problem for a lot of these like strikers that don't that are freaking, for a lot of these like primarily strikers in the division that don't really see grappling in their fights. His like goofiness and stuff like that, I don't think he'll be a problem for those guys. I don't know if he'll be a champ. He'll probably be like a top 5, top 10 guy. If I had to guess. But yeah, I think he can go pretty far. Maybe even get like a number 1 contender. Maybe we can be like top 3 or something like that. With just off his grappling and stuff like that. So yeah, but looked pretty good in this fight. Cut Roman Delidze. Moving on, we got the co-main event, and it was Vitor Petrino defeating Sergey Spivak, mate. Sergey Spivak. He's a great fucking fighter. He had to do it for his father. Um, yeah. Uh, Vitor Petrino got it done. By unanimous decision. I picked him to win. I thought he would get it done in the second. But ends up going the distance. Pretty underwhelming fight if I do say so myself. Maybe it's just all the other fights in this card were so good that when this fight came along, it was it just ended up being very lackluster compared to the others. But I would say it was pretty underwhelming overall. Round one, Petrino ended up outlanding Spivak with the jab and the low kick. It was really just the jab and the low kick that were money for Petrino every time they were on the feet. I mean, Spivak just stands so heavy on that lead leg, and is so stationary that he's pretty much just asking to get jabbed in the face and leg kicked. And Petrino just obliged, did a really good job of chopping the legs of Spivak. Popping the jab as well, busted the nose of Spivak in the first, pretty early into the round. He did that with a jab. And yeah, pretty much got the round off that. The jabs, the low kicks. Didn't really try to go into the pocket and like trade with Spivak. Even though he's faster, Petrino is a bit like, he is a bit chinny, and I think he's wary of that, and he's not trying to like make a big mistake where he dives into the pocket and gets chinned with a right hand. Especially against a guy like Spivak. So yeah, Petrino just kept it cautious, threw the jab, chopped the low kick, and won the first round off that. Second round, it was all Petrino again. Petrino, in the first minute of the round, shot in for the takedown after they exchange on the feet for a bit. Gets Spivak down. He ends up like pressing Spivak up against the cage. Gets like, grinds him up against the cage and like that. Just standing over him, where Spivak's just on one knee and like Petrino's like on his back and stuff like that. Or no, at first he gets Spivak down, and Spivak goes to guard, and they stay there for a bit, and then Petrino ends up pressing Spivak up against the cage while he's on the guard of Spivak, and then he ends up passing the guard of Spivak, and gets into mount, and yeah, just lands shots from there, lands big punches, and just dominates from on top while he has Spivak pressed up against the cage. Yeah, he gets mount, and the sort of like in the middle point of the round, Spivak like turns to like give up his back, and then Petrino goes for it, ends up getting the back of Spivak, but he's way too high up on the back of Spivak, and then Spivak slides out of the back door, ends up getting on top of Petrino at the end of the second, but he doesn't really do anything with it, and it ends up being a very, very dominant round for Vitor Petrino. So Spivak's down 2, and then in the corner they're trying to motivate him, and they're saying, "Sergey, do this for your father. Do this for your father. You've got 1 round left. 5 minutes. Do this for your father." Trying to do anything to light a fire under the ass of Sergey Spivak. And then he goes out there in the third, and just is way too tired. Petrino just stays on the feet, jabbing him, low kicks him, ends up taking him down, smudges him up against the cage as well. With that, and yeah, anytime like Spivak started to go forward and like land with his hands a little bit, Petrino would just circle out and just almost run away, to disengage from the striking, knowing he was like up on rounds, up on strikes and stuff like that. Yeah, very, very gay fighting style from Vitor Petrino in the third, but what can you do? If you're a Makhachev fan and you watch this fight, you better not come. I better not hear you complain at fucking all. If you are a Makachev fan and you watch this fucking fight, I better not hear a single peep from you everlasting bastards. Shut your vagina face when you watch this fucking fight, alright? I better not hear you say any damn thing about the way Pedrino is fighting. Um, in the third especially, but yeah. Petrino gets it done. They don't do much in the third, just like stand around. Petrino kind of runs, lands some low kicks here and there, and then the fight ends. Yeah, 39. Not 39. Freaking 30-27 for Petrino. Won all 3 rounds. Clearly, outlanded Spivak, out grappled him, out damaged him, and coasted to a unanimous decision win. So good stuff for Petrino. Picked him to win. I didn't think it would be by decision. But yeah, he gets it done. Moving on, we got, and he's ranked at heavyweight, probably like ranked like what, number 8. He's gonna be within the top 10 for sure. Um, yeah, I don't know how he does against the top 10, but we'll see. We'll see. Moving on, we got the main event of the evening, and it was Gregory Rodriguez defeating Anthony Hernandez by unanimous decision. Crazy stuff for Gregory Rodriguez. Yeah, it turns out not only is Anthony Hernandez chinny to the body, but he's also chinny to the legs, man. Chinny to the body and chinny to the legs is a crazy ass combination. Bro genuinely put all of his durability points into his chin. Yeah, crazy. But yeah, good stuff for Gregory Rodriguez. I picked him to win this fight. I thought he would TKO Hernandez in the third with a body shot, and I did not expect him at all to go the distance and even outland Fluffy. He outlanded Fluffy by a crazy margin. 243 strikes to 111, double the output on Hernandez. I don't know where these strikes came from. Maybe they were from leg kicks or like punches and stuff like that on the ground, but yeah, crazy output from Rodriguez. He did look pretty gassed going into like the later rounds, but he was like staying with it really good. And not like just not letting Fluffy overwhelm him too much to where Fluffy could really get some momentum back and get back into the fight and even like stop Rodriguez. But yeah, good win for Rodriguez, man. Round 1, Fluffy shot in immediately, tried to push Rodriguez up against the cage. Rodriguez showed off wicked ass takedown defense, man. Really good takedown defense from Gregor Rodriguez. Stuffed every one of Fluffy's shots. And just had him holding up against the cage. Rodriguez would like throw some hooks and stuff in the clinch to, keep busy. I wanted to sneeze. I want to sneeze. Oh no, it's fucking with me. I'm fine. That feels so bad. Yeah. Rodriguez was keeping busy in the clinch. With like some punches here and there, some knees, as well. Going to the body, Rodriguez was. He was throwing knees to the body, throwing like 1-2s to the body as well on Hernandez. So he was very aware that Hernandez was weak to the body the whole fight, pretty much. And yeah, was stinging him there, landing good shots there. And yeah, Fluffy Hernandez just looked to smudge him up against the fence, take him down, try and wear him out, take away the power of Rodriguez early. Rodriguez would like separate, land a couple like left hook, land the 2-3, land the 3-2 on Hernandez as well. He actually landed I think it was a left hook. He landed a big left hook in round 1 on Hernandez. It ended up catching him good and like stumbling him for like a little bit. And yeah, that was round 1. Pretty much just control for Hernandez while Rodriguez was landing the better shots. Hernandez did land a good elbow that cut Rodriguez on the side of his head in the clinch, like on an exit. So that was like the most damaging shot, but the volume and the strike numbers were on the side of Rodriguez. Round two, it was all Gregory Rodriguez. Ends up chopping the legs of Hernandez and drops him multiple times with the low kick. Sings him bad. Had Hernandez looking like JDM out there. I thought we were gonna get another JDM Protez in the second. But yeah, Hernandez just stayed with it, dropped him like what I swear it was like 4 or 5 times. They say 3 knockdowns. I think it was like 4 or 5 at least. In the second, just Rodriguez slamming him with the low kick. And yeah, just beating him up with that. He ends up following Hernandez to the ground. Rodriguez does, which I thought was a pretty stupid move. Just send him back up and make him walk on that beat up ass leg. He's already leaving on. I think if he chopped it even more, he probably could have got a finish in the second. Rodriguez could have. But yeah, ends up they end up going to the ground. And then Hernandez like gets back up, presses Rodriguez up against the cage. Ends up getting the takedown in the second, and like the final seconds of the second round, but does nothing with it. It was a clear second round for Rodriguez. Moving on to the third, much more closer round. Hernandez ends up. This is Hernandez's most dominant round, I would say, with how much Rodriguez was like kind of slowing down. I don't think about it. I think Rodriguez was kind of just conserving his energy, not trying to go all out to save the energy for the fourth and fifth. But yeah, Hernandez ends up controlling up against the cage, constantly tries to shoot takedowns, ends up like landing elbows in the clinch, landing some knees as well. Hernandez also ends up fighting at a southpaw now. Since his leg was so beaten and battered and busted up, he ends up working out of southpaw to take away the leg kick of Rodriguez in the third. And yeah, just kind of controls Rodriguez, ends up shooting takedowns. Rodriguez does a good job of stuffing all of them pretty much and popping up back to his feet when he was on the ground. And yeah, fourth round, all Rodriguez ends up going forward on Hernandez, landing good shots, landing hooks on around the guard, pressing forward on Rodriguez. Hernandez would land back with some punches and stuff, but they were sort of all for naught. Nothing was really hurting Rodriguez, like Rodriguez was hurting Hernandez, and yeah, that was the fourth. I would say the best round for like just in action in general. They're both sort of going back and forth, landing on each other, trading on each other, backing each other up in moments of the fight. But overall, it was a Rodriguez round. Landed the better shots, landed more shots, and yeah, fifth and final round. It was a very good back and forth. Rodriguez ends up knocking down Hernandez again with the low kicks. Ends up landing more punches on him. Unloads a bunch of punches. Stuffs all of the takedowns for Hernandez. Goes in the clinch. I think he even got Hernandez down to the ground. I think it was with the low kick that he dropped him with. But yeah, ends up outlanding Hernandez again. This was the most even on strikes they were for the whole fight. So they were going back and forth, but It was Hernandez landing. I mean, it was Rodriguez landing the bigger shots, and ended up sealing the round. I had it 2-2 going into the fifth. Also, I think Rodriguez ended up no, they didn't. He ended up taking him down. I misremember. I think the only time they went to the ground was because the Rodriguez dropped Hernandez with the low kick again, and they just went back to the ground with it. But I thought it was 2-2 going into the fifth. And then Rodriguez ended up clutching the fifth. With like the was dropping him with the leg kick in the ground and pound on top. So yeah, good stuff from Gregory Rodriguez. Wins the UD off of Fernandez. Yeah, Hernandez on a 2-fight win streak, chinning to the leg, chinning to the body. I don't know what he's gonna do about that. That's pretty. Once you got those two traits, I mean, you're pretty fucked. There's not much you can change about that. There, you can't like get more leg durability or get more body durability. Yeah, I don't know what he's gonna do about that. He might go on a crazy loss streak. I think Hernandez might go on like a crazy loss streak. He being like a Marab that's chinny to the legs and to the body. I think guys are gonna pick up on that and freaking exploit that on Hernandez pretty easily in his future fights. But yeah, good stuff for Rodriguez. He's in the top 10 at middleweight now. Probably right outside the top 5. He called out Dricus du Plessis. I'm not gonna lie, he might get slammed out by Dricus. I think it would be a fun fight, but I think Dricus would slam him out. Just have better striking than him. And just put volume on him and put him away with a big punch. So yeah, I would like to see RoboCop versus like Joe Pyfer, RoboCop versus Brendan Allen, RoboCop versus like Bahalio. I think would be a good one. Yeah, I think those would all be good fights. For Hernandez, he might have to go learn to speak Chinese. I think get ready to learn Chinese for Hernandez, man. It's looking tough for him. 2-fight loss streak, chinny to the legs, chinny to the body. Those are like some of the worst traits you can have as a UFC fighter. And yeah, I don't know what he's gonna do. Maybe he can fight freaking Edmund Shabazian or something like that. You can fight like Roman Kopylov or something like that. Roman Kopylov. I don't know. It's looking pretty tough for him. Yeah. But those were the fights. Those were my picks. Yeah, I picked Rodriguez to win. He got it done. I picked Petrino to win. Picked DeRitter to win. I picked Jones to win. Medeiros got it done. I picked Jadis to win. I picked Wint to win. I picked Douglas to win. Amers ended up getting it done. Picked Gazia to win. Picked Padilla to win. Picked Barboza to win. I picked Gage to win. Durisenval got it done. Picked McVeigh to win. And I picked Dyer to win. So 2-0. Or no, 1-0, 2-0, 2-1, 3-1, 4-1, 5-1, 5-2, 6-2, 7-2, 7-3, 8-3, 9-3, 10-3. Not too bad if I do say so myself. Big dogs came up in this one. And yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed the fights. I'll be uploading predictions for UFC Shanghai. Nurmagomedov versus Song Yadong later this week, so stay tuned for that, or next week, so stay tuned for that. And yeah, hope you guys enjoy the fights. Hope you guys enjoy the video. Be sure to like, comment, sub, and yeah, I'll see you guys later. Peace.